I got here and I started mowing. For those of you who don't know, I'm at our property in West Virginia. I started mowing and I ran out of gas. I knew I was out too. I even brought a gas can. We were supposed to stop and get some gas on the way in, but we were talking. We just forgot. So I guess I'll just have to run out and get some now. It's only like, I don't know, 20-minute ride to the nearest gas station. It's all right. I don't mind. Just another little bit of road tripping down here in the hills. We'd like to come down here more than we do because it's just so I don't have my seatbelt on. It's so far back, like there's no real traffic. You know, it's just peaceful. It's quiet. There's nobody around. You're down in the middle of a valley here, and I don't know. There's no cell service. There's no internet. There's no TV. There's nothing. It's just us and quiet. And Jeff loves it. Jeff just loves it. We got some work to do down here. We got some construction projects planned, but we're kind of getting in the planning stages and doing measuring and figuring out exactly what we want to do. This is like a goat path. It's paved, except for down here where they washed away and they put in a new culvert and a crossover pipe, but there might be, you might hear 5 or 6 cars a day going down this road at most. This is where it washed out right here. They had to put this new big culvert pipe in. All the water coming off that hillside washed the road out, and up here they put another crossover right up here. You'll see where it's gravel because all this slipped away. Not a lot of people around down here. That's what we really like about it, because I can't work with my garage doors open at home for somebody stopping by. And it's not that I'm not social, but when I'm at work, which is, you know, when I'm in the shop, I'd like to get work done. And sometimes people just waste your day if you let them. And I don't want to be that guy, but you know, I got to pay bills just like everybody else. I got to get work done. So it is what it is. Let's head out here and get us some gas. Starting to cut down these godforsaken grasses. I'd like to just tear all this crap out. Same with that one and that one over there. It's a nuisance every year. Oh yeah, and that bush down there, whatever that thing is. Need to cut this crap down and get rid of it.
It's cool, but it falls all over, and then when you're trying to cut it, it falls in your head.
Well, you know the easiest way to cut this?
Skid steer.
Skid steer. Adios. Yep.
And that quince bush.
Quince, that's what it's called. Okay.
It's kind of hot for long sleeves, but there's poison ivy mixed in here, so.
We gotta go measure.
Good.
Crazy boy. Take it easy, old man. The old boy's got to take it easy on the ticker. You want to help me measure this, Jeff? You want to help me measure? Crazy. We did a bunch of measuring for this because this upper part of this building was built less than fantastic. We got to do some work to it, and sooner than later. And then we need to pull the skirting loose on this because this trailer was put here in '97, I think, and it's starting to settle in the front. And part of that is probably because this is a hill. It comes down like this, and they never put a swale in around this trailer to divert the water around. And in a big heavy rain like what we've been getting down here, it comes right up underneath here. We may have a settling. I mean, it's minor, but it's just enough to detect if you pay attention, if you're looking for it. But we need to put new windows. We need to peel all that siding off, put OSB on, Tyvek, new doors, new siding, and an asphalt shingle roof or a steel roof, one or the other. And we rip the back porch off. So we're thinking about moving that trailer up here and building up a little pad and kind of freeing up this area back here for something else that she has in mind. So this was the original house, and the foundation is it's got some issues, but it's still definitely usable. Not like it's so bad it needs to be demolished. It's definitely usable, but
There's ice frozen on top of this cup of water.
oh, nice. You see how far the neighbors are way down there. She picked apples. What are those apples called you got?
Those apples?
Yeah.
Arkansas black.
Which is what that tree is right there. And the yellow ones we got last time, but she got one box, which means there's applesauce in our future. Of course, to Jeff, these are just toys that taste good. You know, he thinks they're balls he can just bite into. He runs like a spring chicken around here, like he's a little pup. He's crazy. This old building here, this was the original house to this property. I think someone did foundation work later, but it houses the well tank, and the well pump. But when they did it, they poured the concrete floor themselves. So there's the footer, and they poured the concrete floor next to it instead of on top of it. And they didn't make a very good door. It's just plywood with styrofoam on the back, and it's got big gaps in it, which is why there's so many spider webs. But look at this, rough sawn lumber. This is the the floor joist. It's an actual hard, whatever I'm trying to tell you. It's actually a rough sawn lumber, just like this, nailed together. But this floor is so unlevel. Like, this was original, which obviously this date is much later than this, right? And you can see the difference in the top plates they use and how it's shimmed. It's not level, and there's a lot of work to do. How you like that? It's just fantastic. As you can see, it's unplugged here. We don't use it. But there's the well tank. No, the well pump. It's a shallow well, so it really doesn't need much of a pump. And we're only here just to, at the most a week at a time. It doesn't matter to Jeff. He's okay with it. But we remove the power, which means unplugging that pump. It's just a little 110 pump. And believe it or not, that light bulb right there is enough heat to keep all of this from freezing in the winter. Works out pretty well. So let's get out of here and get this locked up. So if you look down in here, you can see the mice can get in there pretty easy. And then the water comes in right here because they never capped the top of the block here when they cut this door in. And this steps is just butted up to it. It's not actually tied into it, so I've got some work to do there. And this drain for the gutter literally comes down over here, and it just dumps over here. There's a hole somewhere. I find it with the mower all the time. Yeah, there. it just drains down here, and it's the worst place for it. But I want to pull some of the skirting off and get a look. I've never looked underneath this thing. I'm just curious. Okay, I guess that doesn't really go there. We need to redo this mess here. It needs so much work, but I'm not really willing to put the work into it till I know exactly what we're gonna do. The porch is rotten. Again, the water problem, erosion. Jeff, these steps are tilted in. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, guess I need another hand. You done? Well, they're double blocks. So is the tongue welded on? Yeah, dang it. That sucks. I want to take that off. Yeah, you can see the water trails. You can see it right in here where the water goes. Excuse you. Let's see. Can I get a light? Can't turn the flashlight on. Alright. How about that? Yeah, you can see how the water just pours underneath there. Yeah, I don't think they did a very good job of leveling. Anyways, I want to move this and pour a pad of concrete to put it on. And in that way, oh, it is tied down. Check that out. That's good. I'm surprised, but look how loose it is. So that tells me it's began to sink, because that should have been tight. Okay, and you can see how that one's leaning right there. You can see it in the camera, it's leaning. Anyways, here's your average traffic around here. Just side by sides. That's the biggest traffic you see around here. But anyways, I'd like to move this and get it out of here and get it up above this, because it slopes a lot more right here, and this skirting's in such bad shape from weed eater over the years. Looks like crap. Time to do some improvements, spend some money. That one's leaning up there pretty good too. You can see it. Exactly what I thought. Look how much it sank in the dirt. I don't know what's underneath that, if anything. I could dig down real quick, I guess. Well, it's sitting on something that resembles a concrete pad. Boxers are so nosy, especially this one. Nosy. Anyways, I'm gonna dig down a little farther, see if it's just a concrete, like, patio block type thing, or if it's actual concrete pour. So my shovel is now underneath that. So that's just a poured concrete or whatever square pad, which obviously isn't much wider than the block itself. But my blade of my shovel is under it now. So I don't want to take any dirt out from under it, because I don't want it to sag anymore, but that tells me it's not sitting on piers, which is kind of what I thought. But this was put in place and installed by the place that sold the mobile home back in '97. So there's what you get. You know, it's not been a problem since '97, but I mean, a couple of the doors just aren't quite right. You know, like I said, it's enough to notice, so take this into account for our future plans. One good thing, I won't have to pull up concrete piers for what we want to do here. So that's I guess a plus if there is one. Anyways, it's fall, so I'm going to put this all back in here and try and chop this up real fine so it'll go in there and fill good and pack again. Because the downspout, well, lack of, they have a crappy little, I don't know what you call that, gutter, but you can see how it has holes rusted through it, and it comes down the side of this. It's another reason why we want to re-side it, but I don't want to do any of that work until we've leveled this thing up. Because if I put OSB, I'm going to peel all this steel siding off, I put OSB on here and house wrap and then siding, and it's not level, I put my siding level, and then we do put it somewhere level. Now my siding's all screwed up. I don't want to have to redo it, so I guess we got to make plans about that. Verify there's no axles under this. Nope. There's the hanger. There's the hanger. this tie down loose. Look how much it's sunk. Look how much water's been up there. You see the trail of water. It goes down through here. There's another trail over there. It's sunk even more over there. Stays wet here with the moss. Yep. We're gonna have to make some changes. Gotta do some fixing here. Yeah. Okay then. See how there's this spot right here where all the growth is much lower. That's where it flooded when we had all those horrible rains. It flooded clear up into this part up here. So everywhere you see a line where it's like much shorter, that's how high the water had gotten. So that's why my building has to go up here. We build a shop here. Somebody's looking for a free lunch. It's amazing. From that height, way up in the sky, they can see something moving in the field and swoop down and get it. Some incredible eyesight there. It's like this every morning. You'll see them out here just right back and forth over that field. We're thinking about doing some work to this. I may have mentioned this before, but when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I built this building. I came down for 5 days. It's about a 3-hour trip. I drove down to do this, and the first day I came down, we used this post hole digger, and when we dug all these post holes and by hand and dug them 12 inches in diameter and then put the footings down in there. The second day, we set all the posts and got them propped up and squared and started on the purlings. By the end of the second day, all the purlings were up and we had started on the OSB. On day 3, we finished the OSB on the outside as far as the top of the sidewalls was, and then we put the trusses up and started on the OSB for the trusses. And after that, we got all the shingles done, we got all the siding, windows done, and we hung the door. On the final day, I was finishing up the adjustments on the door, and I ran the electric in and did all the plugs and stuff and brought power in. There's a GFI right there. It protects the whole entire garage. And then later, he wanted to put concrete in here. So he went ahead and graded it out and asked if I'd come down and help him do concrete. Well, by the time we got here, the concrete truck was early. I got here and there was no gravel under here. This was just dirt that was graded out. There was no rebar, no wire mesh, no anything. And the grade was just not, as you can tell by all of the cracks. We have 4 cracks here. This part over here stays level. This part is sloping this way. This part slopes this way. And that part slopes that way. And it's busting up pretty good. Like, you can actually catch your foot on it now. So this needs to be redone. And I thought before I go ahead and redo this, I'm really thinking we should probably add on to this. I'd like to take this back wall off. Like, this building now needs new siding. The weed eater was not kind to it either. I wanted to run another rat board up higher to get the siding up off the ground, but he really didn't want any part of that. He wanted to just do what we were doing. And so I've been thinking about blowing that back wall out and adding another 24 by 24 section. So this would be 48 feet deep. Come on, Jeff. Leave it alone. Hey. Leave it. Come on. So I was thinking, sidings. This is your basic pole building kits you used to get from Carter Lumber. I'm thinking about coming out this way 2 feet, 24 feet. You can't tell, but from the corner of that garage there down to there's grade drops 3 feet, so we'd have to peel the vegetation off, get the topsoil off, and bring in fill. Now the fill will come from up here. We have 24 acres up there. And I want to cut a driveway in over on this side, so I'll probably bring the backhoe down here and just start cutting the driveway in and load up my dump truck and then just bring down like 6 inches at a time and fill and let it get compacted with rain and freeze and thaw and all that stuff and driving over it, because I want the pad to be quite a bit bigger than the building so we don't have an erosion problem like what's going on over here. We're starting to show the skirt board here, the wrap board, so we need to get some more fill over here. You see it's low, so we have to get that in. You can't tell here, but from the bottom of this to here is about a 4-foot drop to the ground. I need to bring this up and then slope that out a little better, make it a little easier where it's not falling away. But it's a lot of work. We just have to consider if it's what we want to do, and if it is, we got to get moving on it. Got a lot of work done while we were here, a lot of maintenance done. I pulled out 2 bushes that were in the yard, cut up some stuff, got some work done to the inside of the mobile home. Mobile home needs a bunch of work too. We're measuring to do that. Windows, siding, doors, new skirting, a roof. Come on, Jeff. Whatever I do, I can't disturb our apple trees. Come on. No, you can't have no more of them. Let's go. Anyways, today's the day we got to pack up. Got to head back home. I got some parts showing up today and tomorrow, so I can get back to work on a couple of trucks we're building. So let's head home. Come on, Jeff. He don't want to leave. He just sits there by the steps. Come on. Hey. Come on, Jeff. He never wants to leave. He loves it here.
Other side.
Come on. Good Lord, Jeff. Get in there. Come on, crazy. Let's go home. My wife went into the old Hoggly Woggly, and Jeff knows when she comes out, she'll have something for him. So he waits eagerly. This is a power company or fiber optic line. Looks like they're on communication line.
Frontier.